Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is my review of my 1999 Ford SVT Cobra. This is Rev from my Rev It Up blog, my YouTube page, and I own a 1999 Ford SVT Cobra. Her name is Electrabeth, and she is patterned after her paint code, which is SW. You'll find it on the VIN number on the vehicle, which stands for electronic green silver metallic clear coat, and that is the paint job from the factory. And I believe that this is the most under-reviewed Cobra on the market. I call her the motivator for the simple reason is that in 1999, Ford came out with the new Edge style Mustangs, and that would be from 99 to 04. So 99 started the revolution of this new generation of Cobras, and our predecessors was 93 through 98 model Cobras, and more specifically with the SN95 bodies, the 94 through 98 were our predecessors. So we are the successors, and we are the motivators and the platform for the 2000 R Cobra, and also the iconic legendary 0304 Terminator Cobra. Now, the reason I call this the motivator is because this from the factory came with a 320 horsepower engine. Ford went to a 4-valve engine and 32 valves. So you had 2 intakes and 2 exhausts on each of the ports. And so that gives us its 4-valve, the 32-valve big V8 engine. And from the factory, as I stated, it was 320 horsepower. But when it was tested, it came out to be that our predecessors, the 99, 98, 97 Cobras, which produced 285 horsepower, they were beating these 99s on the track. So Ford stopped the production of it in April of 99, stopped all the sales, did a recall, and changed the intake all the way back to the tailpipes, and produced the 20 horsepower that the car deserves. And so after that, the sales boomed in 2001 and 2002 Cobras. And the 2000 Cobra was made, that's the R-Type, and that was a street legal racing machine. And that put out about, I believe, 385 horsepower, I believe. I don't remember the exact numbers on that, but they were pretty high. It was a 5.2 or either 5.7 liter engine from the factory. So my numbers may be wrong. It may have put out a little more horsepower than that, maybe about 390, 395 maybe. But that came with no air conditioning, no radio, no back seat. So the rear seat delete kit was already inside the Cobra, our Cobra R models. But let's get back to the 1999 Cobra. This is the year that Ford introduced the IRS, the independent rear suspension, instead of the solid axle. So that gives you the option of when one tire is spinning, the engine would retard until that tire catches up and then kicks in full torque. And I like the IRS independent because I can go from a dead stop and make a right turn without fishtailing. It'll skirt to the right just a little bit. When I hit second, it'll skirt to the right, but it'll straighten right up and she'll take off. So and with that said, in 99, Ford produced 8,089, I want to believe, of these models, and they produced 440 in the coupe and 449, I believe, in the convertible color, in the convertible Mustangs. But for this 99, this paint code SW. Out of 4,040, this paint code is limited to 283 in the green metallic silver clear coat color. So, and this was the only year that Ford offered this color green. So if you have this green electronic silver metallic clear coat color, this is an iconic color, and it only was produced in 1999. So now let's go with all the mods. As you can see, I went with the 03, 04, 17x8 rims, and my tires are 275 45 17s front and rear. I have the dual piston brakes. You can see Cobra written in there. I have the big 16-inch disc, which the rotors and the calipers are painted black. And I also added the super snake strike kit. You can see it says Cobra down there, and there's the 13-inch rear. Those are painted black, drums and the calipers. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, in 1999, Mustang was on the rear bumpers. So it is a true Cobra. 99 is the only year that shows Mustang. The 03 and 04 shows Cobra in the back. And I wanted to stick with the traditional bumper that says Mustang. Okay, you can see the Cobra stripe going along there. I've also got the metal black gas cap door. You can see the Cobra on the rocker panels there, and there is the Cobra snake strike coming down the front. And I have the newer style headlights, and also you can see the 03, 04 Cobra bumper front fascia or cover. And I have the large snake, the Cobra logo in the grill with the Mach 1 grill delete kit, and the newer style headlights, chrome with the amber lights on the outside. So and I did put a bottom grill on to prevent anything from getting up there hitting my intercooler, which we'll get into that. And so you can see the paint job is immaculate all the way around. No dents, no dings, no scratches, no rock dents, nowhere around the body. It is excellent all the way around. It is a beautiful, beautiful paint job. Okay, now we'll go for the interior mods. Sorry for the sunlight. So the interior mods, I wanted to go Pro Street, because this car I wanted to try and keep original, but there's so many upgrades to this that I had to go Pro Street. So the interior, we have Corbo racing seats, okay, and then I have the 5-point harness cam locking, which you can see it better over there, the cam locking seatbelt harness. Okay, then I have my 5-inch tack with the shift light right here, and I have the rear delete seat kit in here. So there's no rear seat. Here's my harness bar, and the seat belt harnesses is nice and tight. Now another upgrade to being Pro Street is I got a 5-panel push to start button kit that I installed myself. And what you normally do, you just lift up the kill switch to the start position, then this starts the fuel pump, and this starts all my accessories, and then I will push the start button and she was starting. Of course, with the key, I would have to turn the key on to unlock the steering wheel. And then this shuts the power off to everything. So I did install that myself also. Also, we have an NRG quick release steering wheel. So we just release the button here. And it's kind of hard to do with one hand. We release the button and the steering wheel comes off. And that's a handy bugger getting in and out of these racing seats, is having that quick release. And down the bottom you can see I have new pedals. Here are the logos for my carpet, the snake logos. And now we'll see what this puppy's pushing under the hood. So we'll describe what we have under the engine here. Okay, this is the 32 valve engine. You can see it says 32 valve. Now you notice here's a Vortec 3 supercharger. I have a JLT cold air intake from actually with Vortec. Then I have a 73 millimeter space throttle body spacer under there, and that is the original Ford Plenum. It's cast iron. It's aluminum. It's not that plastic stuff. And you can see the Cobra snake emblem on top of the Plenum there. And also you can see that it is signed, because these SVTs were made by Ford Special Vehicle Team. That's why they call it SVT, but I think SVT stands for Special Vehicle Tax, because you're going to put some money into this baby to get it the way you want her. So she did not come from the factory with a supercharger. I had the supercharger added. Here's my supercharger reservoir. It is a Morso, and I had to add a tack adapter right here, and I tapped into that 32-point pin over there and ran it in through there, because we do not have a distributorless motor, so we have to get the wire to fire to all 8 coil over the plugs, over the spark plugs. And so we have a water pump, auxiliary water pump under the front fascia to keep our supercharger coolant tank reservoir flowing, to keep the supercharger cool, and our intercooler is down the bottom. Okay, now what I run for an exhaust would be very hard to see, but right down in there you'll see a little bit of chrome. Those are BBK ceramic 1 5/8 steel long tube headers, and sometimes you can see it up underneath the car. You can get a good look at it right there. Those are long tube headers. And so after that, I have BBK off-road X pipes, and then from there I have the Boiler Singer Attack catbacks, the best exhaust system that you can get for a Mustang, and it is the loudest Mustang muffler that you can get. And I stay with the traditional rear taillights that are amber. And so this has subframe connectors underneath. It was lowered 3 inches. If you see, you only can get about 2 fingers in here. And the front, same thing, about 2 fingers in the front. So she sits pretty low. We have the Kenny Bell strut support here, and we have the Kenny Bell lowering suspension kit that's under here, and it is a tubular that runs along with the subframe members, and it goes in a crisscross conditioned all the way down the frame on both sides from wheel to wheel, and this prevents pitching and rolling when you're turning. And so she is real low to the ground, so I'm very careful where I take her. And as you can see under there, she's pretty low to the ground. She has a mean stance back there. So those are the mods that we did on this 99 Ford SVT Cobra, and we had it dynoed at Pro Dyno in Fort Mills, South Carolina, and it was dynoed at 466 to the rear wheel, 455 to the crank. But now with the upgrades to the long tube headers, BBK off-road X-pipe, and the boiler Singer attack catbacks, we picked up 30 horsepower, so we're at 496 horsepower. And so we are up there with the Cobra Terminators, and the ones with the Eaton blowers, we can easily get by them, but the ones that change to the Whipple and get a smaller pulley, they can pull just as much, 460, 480 horsepower, and it's a real race with them, and I definitely enjoy that. I'm trying to figure out all the other mods. Of course, we have our boost gauge and we have our fuel pressure gauge installed right there. So I really can't get a good view of the rear seat delete kit. The angle of the sun just doesn't allow me to get a good view of it, but you get the idea. There's the panels there, and they're locked in solid, and everything looks good. And I took her for a ride, and she looks extremely good. She sounds well. I don't need to put boom mats in the bottom. The noise is not that bad, so I'm very, very happy with it. And so you can see the engine is very clean. I keep it super clean. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to crank it up and allow you to hear the exhaust. And this puppy is pretty loud.